pretty cool day. Actually, the other day was a pretty cool day. I've had this thing for about 3 days, and honestly, I just forgot to open it. Because 100,000 subscribers is a long time ago. It was cool when we got there, when it happened, but I'm not thinking about it anymore. And I wanted to open this when it first showed up, but I had a bunch of stuff to do for the rest of the day. And I thought, I'm not gonna prioritize the past. I'm going to wait and open this when I get all my stuff done for the day. Well, once I did, I had completely forgotten about this. And the next day went by, I forgot about it. The next day went by, I forgot about it. And now I'm like, you know what? Finally, let's just freaking open it. I wanted to film it for you guys, because whether or not what I think about it is irrelevant, the fact that I have one of these is because of you, and because you care, and because you resonate with the way I feel about things and express myself for things that are important to me. And the fact that you support that, you guys, for the most part, are good people. Because when I look at the restricted comment section, how YouTube automatically filters stuff, there is only maybe one comment in there every 3 or 4 weeks. I think that's impressive, that you guys are just some stand-up people, and I'm glad you're here. So let's open this thing up. Keep in mind, I didn't start pushing YouTube hard. I didn't start taking it really seriously and uploading multiple times a week until about June last year. And I wasn't even getting 1,000 views a video until mid-August. I was getting more views from RV stuff than racing stuff. And I had just about given up on making videos about the Escalade because no one freaking watched them. I could make a video about a Newell and it would get, 1,000 views. If I did the Escalade, it'd get like 200. I'm like, what am I doing? I'll just make videos about RVs. Screw this. And then everything changed. Now we're here. So I don't know what's gonna be in here. I'll show you guys first.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm just reading this thing now. Not even a real autograph. Damn it, Susan. But it's like nice, cardstock paper. I spelled my name right.
Cool.
It's funny, the place that makes these is in Grove, Oklahoma, which is in the vicinity of the Newell factory, because a handful of Newell employees live in Grove, Oklahoma. That's why this thing showed up in the mail before I even got the email that it shipped. Like, I got an email, it's like, your creator award's on the way, and I'm like, oh guys, like, I already got it. But yeah, here, let's open this bad boy up. This is different than some of the other ones I've seen. This must be the new style. It's a mirror, that's funny. So I have to stare at my stupid self when I look at this.
I like it.
So this thing, the mirror on here is kind of funny, because when you look at it, you're like, wow, it's me. I remember seeing these things on other people's walls. Like, I've seen the 1321 on Kyle Loftus' wall in his office. I've seen Garrett's on his wall. They're like different. Theirs was like a frame with like a play button inside of it, not this like metal type one. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Nice helmet.
Yeah. Safety first.
Today, part 5 of the 4L80 conversion. I think it's 5. I know I say I think it's something every time. I can't remember. Pretty sure it's number 5 though. And today is a really, really common question, along with, other parts of the conversion. This one is probably one of the bigger deals to sort out. That's the Crossmember. Nobody knows what to do about the Crossmember. They think I gotta buy one. They don't know how to modify theirs to work, because it's gotta be changed. It requires some fabrication, and not everybody has the ability to do that. So I am going to outline for you guys the simplest way, I believe, to get a cross member under there that works. We're just gonna modify the stock one in the most simple, basic, do-it-yourself with a freaking flux core, MIG welder kind of way. Anybody with access to a welder and a vehicle that can take themselves to Home Depot or Lowe's should be able to do this. I gotta find the cross member first though. I don't know where it went. Mike, the electrician, was here earlier hooking up some plugs for the lift. We got 4 plugs over here, 4 plugs over there, 4 right there, and 4 right there. So now there's no more shortage of places to plug things in. And I have found the cross member. This rusty, crusty pile of stuff is going to get cut into 3 pieces. The process is very, very simple here. First, we are just gonna hold it up, just eyeball it here. So this side goes on the driver's side because it has the dent in it for the drive shaft. We're gonna put it up here. Well, I don't need to shove that side in the whole way to know where this has to go. Pretty much we're just gonna make a cut like right here and right here and go from there. So I'm gonna get a marker, mark this out, and get to cutting. So we just got a regular old Hobo Freight abrasive chop saw. I've used this thing for like a bazillion things. I used this thing the only other time I've ever done this on my buddy Justin Sable's Pro Charge Denali probably 3 years ago. And I found that the last time I did it, I used metal in here that was thicker than the blade, and it kind of pushed the bolt holes out a little bit, so I had less wiggle room. So this time I made sure I didn't get metal that was thicker than the blade, because the blade, it's not cutting so much as it's grinding away a slice. So it's going to take material out, which will make it shorter. But when you add the material back in for the plate that we're going to use to extend it, it's going to absorb the space destroyed by the blade. So I don't know. It'll make more sense once I do what I'm about to do. But for right now, we're just going to cut, and it's going to be real loud. Fun fact, I really don't like using the abrasive chop saw. It makes a big mess. It's really loud, and it's pretty inaccurate compared to like a real bandsaw. But I just don't have one of those yet. It's on the agenda. So for right now, this is what we got, and we're going to use it. Okay, so that entire clip is up to 4 minutes and 15 seconds. It took a long time to cut through that. It's just going to take a long time. You have to let the blade cut. You can't force it or you will break the blade. The saw will stop. You have to just apply enough pressure to let it do its cutting. Keep a constant pressure so it just, you know, it just goes through it. You can't force it. It's not going to cut faster if you jam it in there. You're going to, even if you do have a nicer chop saw that does have a stronger motor that won't bog out, you'll kill the blade. You got to let it cut. And I kind of back up a little bit, let it cool off for a second, you know, then go back in. So it's not just building heat the whole time. And I don't know if you noticed, I kind of was turned like that. That is just for the fulfillment of my irrational fear that if the blade explodes, I don't want it to explode into my balls. There you go. Yeah, I probably should wear a face shield, but you know, if my thigh's in the way, then at least I can't get my balls. They can stitch my face back together. Other side here, that's gonna take another few minutes. I mean, this is like a serious piece of steel. Like it's just gonna be a process regardless. If I wasn't demonstrating what to do here, as to do it like the easiest, the DIY average guy way, I'd probably build a tubular cross member for this, just like I did with the Escalade. You pretty much just get a straight piece of steel. It could be round or square, and then you just drill 4 holes in it that correspond with those 4 holes, and then you make a pad that lines up where the transmission needs to be. It's pretty simple. Honestly, probably only requires a little bit amount more of effort than this way, but it requires more skill. So we're doing it this way. We got to get this all ready to go. I got to bolt this little Crossmember trans mount pad back to here so we have the stud location for this. We got everything chopped up here, ready to go, as good as it can be. I got to find where that pad went. Right here. Oh yeah, nice and crusty, just the way I like it. There's not very good nut discipline, but we didn't lose them, so I guess it counts. So here's what we're working with here. You can kind of tell what's going on. We basically just cut the middle out and we're gonna move it back and weld pieces in there so that it just, you know, moves the hole back. It's pretty simple. We just got it mocked up. It's roughly where it needs to be. We can get more precise with it in a minute, but right now we're just kind of figuring out how long the filler plates have to be that we're gonna cut out and weld in here. Which you can see, because of the space left by the chop saw blade, there's room for metal to fit in here and still have the bolt holes be where they need to be. It's not pretty, but it's literally the simplest way, the quickest way, I think probably the most cost-effective way to do this, because you go to the store and you get a couple pieces of metal, cut a couple things, and send that bitch home. That's all we're doing here. All it has to do is hold that transmission. It doesn't have to look cool. So we had to go get some steel from an actual metal place. So we found this metal supermarkets here, and I got my handy dandy dimensions written on my hand so I don't lose the piece of paper that I would put them on, even though Logan thinks I'm stupid for writing things on my hand.
I got you Post-it notes. You don't use them.
I use them for some things, but for something where I could potentially lose a piece of paper that I need, I would put it on my hand and I can't lose it. But yeah, scratch what I said about Home Depot, unless Home Depot or Lowe's near you has 7 by 3.5 inch by 1/8 inch thick plate steel, because that's what we're going in there to get. Let's go check it out. But that was freaking great. We went in and paid, told him what I wanted, pulled around back here, and the guy brought it right up to the window. I got 3 just in case I mess one up, but you see these plates are what will slide right into there on the Crossmember, and that's freaking sweet. This is steel, it's clean, it's not rusty, doesn't have all kinds of mill scale on it that I'm gonna have to grind off to weld it. Man, I've been to a lot of different metal places in different cities, mostly Pittsburgh, because I used to get all my stuff from the same place in my little town, but this is the easiest and best experience I've had getting metal from anything, anywhere. So yeah, even metal supermarkets in your area, I would recommend checking it out, because it's pretty freaking sweet. And I'm not getting paid to say this, I'm just a fan. It makes my life easy. I like stuff that makes my life easy. Okay, so we're back under here with the Crossmember with the steel that we got, and I'm just gonna put a couple lines on here just to give me a reference point to line up. We'll just tack it and then go from there. It's easier than trying to finagle it and fit it around in here. But those pieces up there, those 2 holes are slotted. So even if it's just a little bit off, it should be fine, because I put it in the middle. Now let's get this pulled off and fire up the old Fronius Magic Wave 230. Get this thing stuck together. Gotta clean this off here so I can weld to it. So it'll be nice, at least kind of. This big hog here, I don't know, I never used this one before, but it makes the lights dim when you turn it on, so it must be intense.
You have to do that to all of them.
Yep.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, I know. So excited.
It looks like new. Only in the part that you did that to, though.
I thought about just welding this anyway, just going through the crud. But it's not the right thing to do, so it's not what we're gonna do.
Don't you have to do both sides on that one?
Yep. Yes, I do. Holy, what a hog. So now we're gonna get the welder fired up. It's all dirty because it's, you know, right next to the workbench, but this thing's freaking sweet. You can switch between AC, DC on here. You know, get your amps over here. We're gonna put it around 90 just because I think that's a good place to be. All your settings are in there, electrode diameter, all kinds of things. Honestly, this welder's way more capable than I am understanding of what it does. Make sure I'm on the right shade level. I bumped into it. I have the Bluetooth helmet too. I haven't actually tried it yet because haven't had any big welding projects come up to where I thought I needed to fire it up. It's always some random thing I'm not really prepared for, so I just keep using old reliable here. But there's got a torch switch on it. You can change things from here too. You can mess with the amps on there. It's pretty neat. I have it set to be a momentary start stop, where you can also have it to like pull it down and then you touch it again to shut it off. Where I like to control it in the moment, and it's also got a little dingle light there. Pretty cool. So I'm just gonna tack these plates to the ends, and then we'll go back up there again to verify how it fits, and then make marks and tack from there, make sure it fits still, and then we'll send it all home. So that's the process here. Just gonna tack it a couple places and go from there. I didn't even use rod on this one because I had a corner there. I just melted the corner and kind of guided it up into there just to have a nice fusion tack. A little trick you can use at home. 3 places should be good. It's got to be strong enough that you can pick it up and move it around and bump it on things and not break them, but not so intense that if you need to move it that you can't get it off at all. That's something I'm guilty of before, and I've also been guilty of making them too light and screwing myself that way. So you just got to find the happy medium. Now we'll take the greasy one here. I don't even know, I can't even see the lines I made, but theoretically this can only go one way, so gotta line it up here. Can you hear the grease in there boiling out?
Not really, I'm not paying attention.
Oh.
I'm watching like the numbers on the screen, not paying attention to that.
Oh. What are you going on with the numbers? What are you
like
finding?
I'm watching like the volt thingy.
The volt thingy? The amps?
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
It just like fluctuates while you're doing stuff. It's interesting.
Maybe one of these days we'll see how good you can weld.
Cool.
Not enthused?
I'm not enthused about anything right now. Just straight up not having a good time, man.
You know, we all have those days, but we're just here doing it anyway.
I'm doing the damn thing.
Exactly. Good for tacks. Now we'll take them over there and verify fitment again. Okay, so now we're gonna put this thingy back up in here too to finalize the lineup of where these are gonna go. So it should fit in there nice and snug now because of how these are, how the thickness of this plate occupies the same, or roughly the same thickness as the abrasive chop saw blade that made the cut. So if you cut it with an 1/8 inch blade, it's gonna be an 1/8 inch shorter. So we fill that back up with an 1/8 inch of metal right here, so it's the same length again. I had these pieces cut long on purpose just so I'd have extra room to work with. Because check this out. What I'll do is when I tack this, I'll just weld it up and then chop the ends off and then weld there. I could have made it perfect, but you know, I always like to leave a little bit of extra material when I can, just in case, because this does move. This is still a little loose. It was kind of hard to tell. Now we know for sure that it's going to work. So I'm gonna break out the old handy dandy Sharpie and I'm just gonna trace this so that I know, trace it here and make a marker line on here. Now we know. Sharpies are your friend when fubarcading. anything. I don't like measuring. I like putting marks on things and then putting it back on the marks. I would, if someone had me build a house, it would be freaking crooked as hell. But for tiny things, it works okay some of the times. I'm gonna pull these out.
Cool.
Should have cleaned all those first, but you know, then my hands wouldn't be all dirty and you guys wouldn't think I actually do work around here. We have to maintain appearances, you know. Blah. 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 No, really, it's gross.
It's fine, rub it on my leg. I don't care, I already did it with my hand.
Alright, well, Logan's wearing like my hat and my safety glasses and all kinds of stuff, and she looks totally ridiculous, but she's not gonna let you see that. So we'll just continue here. I'll have a laugh to myself, ha ha. Alright, back to work. Got everything lined up here. I'm just gonna tack it as it is and see how it goes. This is not a precision operation. We have a couple more on the top side. Be good to go. Now you could have, like I said, made this a lot cleaner, more precise. All of the things that you could do, we didn't really do here. Welding up a crusty, oily crossmember. Like, you know, how perfect does it need to be? It doesn't. And if I'm being honest, it really kind of hurts me to do stuff like this because I like to take my time and do things super nice and all that stuff. I love dirting out on details, but the reason I don't is because no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, it is still crusty and old under there. Like, there's just only so many places where effort is worth it. You kinda gotta pick your battles. It hurts. It hurts to be inside. And I'm really excited to do some builds that are of, like, you know, top quality, like Escalade stuff where I can really nerd out on the tiny things. But there's a time and a place for that, and it's not right here. So let's go back and see if this bolts up now. Check it out. It fits. Everything fits. That's it. We have the studs are in the hole. These are in the hole. Everything's in the hole. It's in the hole. We did it. We got ourselves a crossmember. Now we can finish weld this thing and grind the little end dongle thingies off. Time to weld. I don't know where my other glove went. I always seem to lose my welding gloves around here because people use them for I have to touch something hot gloves. These ones instead, they're a little bigger. Provide more coverage, probably a better thing because I don't want to get sunburn on my forearms. Save the sunburn for my 5 arms. Bad joke. Whatever. Let's weld. I mean, it looks pretty good for not clean, mild steel.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
I can't wait to just sit here and just lay dimes on some aluminum. I guess I'm gonna have to do that at some point because the Escalade on the exhaust is all cracked to pieces. I didn't weld that though. Okay, so crossmember is all finished welded, ready to go. The next video in the series will be the drive shafts. I just got a call from the drive shaft place. They just finished those. So we got those done now. I still got to bolt the converter up and shim that, so that'll be a thing. Put the dipstick in. We're getting pretty close. Almost there. But also, you may have noticed the shirt I'm wearing is the one that's right there, the flag one. You can get that on staplesandautoworks.com. Same with this one, the Good Wrench style. These ones, we're actually not ordering any more of these because we got a new style coming out after that. So if you like the plain black off to the left, just like this one is, well, it's kind of folded over, but it's got the whole thing on there. You have to go on there and hop on that before they're gone. Yeah, the link is in the description, and I'll pin it in the comments too. If you find this video series useful, refer it to a friend, because it's hard to imagine that informative, nitty-gritty, detailed videos just do not do well on the algorithm because most people have a surface level attention span. They don't care to learn things. So it just doesn't push that content because it doesn't pass through the levels of simple people to get to the point where you might actually see it. So if you know someone that could benefit from this, send it to them. That's how we grow. Also, I made a group on Facebook called Project Car. You build the car, it builds you back. Go join that group, post a picture of your project car, and tell the story of how it has opened doors for you as a person, how it's improved your life, the friends it brought you, anything like that. That's the purpose of that group, is to get everybody with a brain in the same place to talk about the good things that cars have brought to their lives. And if this is your first time hearing about that, I posted the pilot episode of that. It's kind of like it'll be a podcast, but it'll be a video, also a podcast. First episode of that was posted a couple days ago. That's on my channel too. It'll be like a once a week series. But if you got Facebook, go join that group. I'm active in there. You can talk to me too. So I know that's a bunch of things. Website, Facebook, tell your friends. That's your homework for today. Link in the description. We'll see you there.